What happened? Well, according to interviews that I've seen that 𝐏𝐬𝐲 has done since then, at that time, he was in a really bad place. He was feeling lonely. There were some social factors that would have acted as triggers. This included his mother being quite unwell. He was paying child support for 3 different children, although he had restraining orders against seeing 2 of them. So I'm sure this all contributed. I'm sure this would have made him feel a bit kind of bitter and twisted and angry about this lack of access. Crucially, he'd been using a whole range of drugs heavily, and he was falling into a depression, and he's actually admitted that he was trying to kind of self-medicate by using more drugs, which is actually quite common, particularly in a certain strata of men who believe that admitting to having poor mental health is in itself a sign of weakness. So 𝐏𝐬𝐲 went to this party in North Hollywood, and he didn't really know many people there apart from the mates he went with. Also, in other interviews, he mentioned that he hadn't slept properly for days. So as I said, he took a range of drugs. He took PCP, he took meth, not approved by the rapper Meth from the Wu-Tang clan. He took MDMA, he took cannabis, and he drank some alcohol. And then in his mind, he thought that his penis was the cause of many of his problems. He thought it was driving him to have promiscuous sexual relationships, like having children, but not living up to his kind of responsibilities as a father. So he thought in that mental state at the time that the best solution was to get rid of it. And also, he'd apparently been reading up about monks. He's also been reading some material about vasectomies. It's probably a bit late now, but 𝐏𝐬𝐲, if you're watching this, there's a big difference between a vasectomy and castration. So then 𝐏𝐬𝐲, he grabs this kitchen knife and he cuts off his own penis. In interviews since, he's been very keen to stress that he only cut off a portion, he didn't cut off the whole thing. And then he said he looked down and I quote, he saw it gushing like a water hose. And then he believed that he was going to die, so he jumped off a second floor balcony. And apparently he was quite lucky that he landed on the grass because he was only inches away from landing on concrete. And then his friends called an ambulance.